Hello Darts Nuts, I'm going to review a set of the new Unicorn Kim Huybrechts, I think that's how you pronounce it. These are the Maestro tungsten range, 90% tungsten, and these retail for around £30. This is a 22 gram model. They're also available in 24 grams, and as you can see it comes in the clam style packaging, and you've got your Kim Huybrechts standard signature flights and your guarantee certificate, 22.3 grams that says, and you've got your compact case with the 8 flight protectors. Let's see if I can get these darts out. Ouch. Obviously you've got your Kim Huybrechts barrels and aluminium shafts. So that's what you get. Let's have a close look at the barrels. Right then, here's a quick close look at the Kim Huybrechts darts, and then I'll put a detailed close up on. As you can see, it's got a silver coated point, and the barrel has got a rounded nose, rounded bull nose, and there's quite a deep groove at the front of the barrel there. This first front section of the barrel is smooth, and as you can see it's got the Hurricane name written on the barrel, and the rest of the barrel is made up of these wide nailed rings with quite deepish grooves in between, and then as you get towards the end of the barrel you've got a couple of rings and 3 black painted grooves, and then a smooth section with the Unicorn name etched onto the barrel. I'd say it's only a medium level of grip. Those grooves kind of act as a kind of a grip factor as well, but if you're a front gripper like me, then you're going to be gripping on that smooth section. Now I don't particularly have any problems with my grip, although I do like to have a grip for something to push against, but obviously that's a low level of grip, but it's not really slippy for me, but it depends on each individual. I mean, Terry Jenkins uses a smooth dart and has no problems at all, and I have quite a few smooth sets as well, and I don't normally find it a problem, but if you've got very dry skin you may find it slippy. So if you're a front gripper and you've got very dry skin, then you might have a problem there, but for middle and rear grippers should be fine. And you've got your aluminium shaft, it's fitted with a rubber o-ring, which is good, and then you've got your Unicorn signature Huybrechts standard shape flights, and that is definitely a full standard shape. So I'll just let you have a quick look at the darts, and then I'll put a detailed close-up of all the measurements. Right, here's the detailed close-up now. Right, here's the detailed look at the Kim Huybrechts 22 gram darts. It's got a 28mm point. There's a round bullnose section of 3mm. Then there's a fairly deep groove before you get into the smooth section with the Hurricane name on, and that groove, including the smooth section and the following groove before the nail grip, is 17mm wide, and the main part of the barrel is this wide ringed nail grip, and that's 24.3mm wide, and then there's 3 small grooves and 2 thinly cut rings of about 3.1mm, and then there's a smooth section at the rear with the Unicorn name of 3.5mm. Overall length is 50.3mm and the width is 6.2mm. Right then, I'm just going to give the barrels a measure. It's not as long as I was expecting it to be. It's 50.2. Don't know if you can see that. 50.2 millimeters. It looks to be pretty much even width all the way through. It's 6.22 millimeters at the front, just a little bit wider there, probably the edges of the nail, making it like that, 6.28, but I'd say pretty much 6.2 millimeters. And as you see, it tapers a little bit on the rear, 5.94. Okay, let's weigh the barrels then. That one is 22.41 grams. That is 22.42, so that's pretty damn close. And that is 22.46, so it's pretty well matched that. It's only 0.05 of a gram difference between the lightest and the heaviest. And the weight of the full setup as supplied is 25.13 grams. Alright then, I'll just check the balance of the dart. It's probably going to be quite even balanced, I should imagine. Maybe just slightly to the front. And just a bit. See what it is when it's got the supplied shaft and flights on. It's quite centre balance there, maybe just a touch towards the rear with the supplied setup. Alright then, that's the look at the darts. All we need to do now is give them a throw and see how they go. I'm just holding the dart at the front, like I said, kind of on that little groove there, so I'm very near the end of the barrel, so with me holding it there, got quite a lot of length behind it. It's quite a floaty dart, but I think that's probably because it's 21 gram, which is a little bit lighter than my normal weight, but also because I've got all this extra length here. And these alloy stems tend to make the flight stick a little bit further out than what I'm used to, but it's not flying too bad at the moment. Obviously I need to get the hang of the dart, but I'm not having any issues with the grip. If you're a person who has very dry hands, you may have some problems on that smooth section if you're a front gripper. Might also work if you get very sweaty hands. I'm not really sure, because my hands are pretty much more or less in between. They're not really dry and they're not too sweaty. I'll have a go from the nail grip after I've had a few more from the front grip, just to see what it feels like there, but first impressions is it's flying quite nicely. My only issue with the dart is with it being a little bit longer from there, with me holding it at the front. If I don't let the release perfect, and I get the dart flicking off a little bit, which kind of makes the dart go like that, but that's my problem, and you can see what happens when when I did that then with the second dart, I think it was. But that's just a problem with my release. As long as you got that release nice, the dart themselves seem to be holding the course well. The only thing I do notice is a little bit of like squirreling, where the dart kind of does that a little bit, but that's probably down to where I'm gripping it and releasing it. Right, I'm just going to have a throw from the nail section. Like I said before, it's not really my natural grip around there, but I'll just give it a couple of throws, see what it's like. It flies quite well from there. Obviously, if I was more used to that grip position, I could probably throw it better. I'll have a couple of more throws. Yeah, it's not too bad that. It's flying quite nice and stable, but it does still feel weird for me. But I'm going to have another throw. This time I'm going to throw it from the very rear, just as a little experiment. That was kind of weird. The dart was very straight in the air there. Obviously I couldn't get the direction right, but I think my problem there holding it at the back was when I was throwing it, it was lifting up, which is why the dart was going high. But like I say, it's not my natural grip. I'll give it one more throw from there. Even more weird that time, but I'm just going to go back to my front grip for a couple of throws. I thought I'd go for all three there, but might as well. So that's the review of the Unicorn Huybrechts 22 gram darts. I think it's quite a versatile dart. It should suit most grip positions. Throwing it from the middle grip on the nail part was quite interesting. It was a lot more stable for me, even though I wasn't expecting it to be, but obviously if that's your natural grip then it should be fine. The only problem will be for like front grippers who can't get on with the smooth section, but I don't really find that an issue with me. So overall it's a nice classic straight barrel dart with a nice ring grip, and it works pretty well. It's a nice easy dart to throw. So there you go, that's the end of the review. Thanks for watching.